Hello there, you're watching SME on Point. My name is Sito, and happy Women's Day to everyone that's watching us, especially our female entrepreneurs that are constantly giving us support here on SME on Point. Women are boldly entering and thriving in previously male-dominated industries. The owner of the Automotive Pros, a panel beating and spray painting small business, is making her presence felt in the industry. Princess Mukhari rejects traditional gender roles, saying female panel beaters and spray painters are the future. Princess Mukhari describes her business as bringing the dead back to life. She's a young business owner who has been running Automotive Pros for the last 3 years as a panel beater and spray painter. Mukhari attributes her skill to her late father.
He was a mechanic, a panel beater and a spray painter at once. So back then I was not sure of what we were doing, but then as I was growing, because he would leave me with a car sometimes and say, put primer. And I wanted to go play with other kids, but I couldn't because my dad wanted me to work. So as growing up, having that background, I didn't think I was gonna be part of this as I was growing, because back then when we were growing, it was not a fancy job. It was just a job that we thought people didn't go to school. And after I lost my dad and started this journey, that's when I realized that my dad was educated.
Before getting into business, Mukhari worked for other small businesses. She says she didn't understand then when her former bosses told her that there was no money. Mukhari says starting her own business has helped her appreciate and understand what her previous employers meant.
The issue with me being employed was every time I'll be told, Hori, there's no money, I'd feel like, these ones are playing with me. I want to see it for myself. That's when I ended up doing it for myself. Now I understand when they were saying there was no money, there was actually no money, because even I can say I don't have money while the cars are packed outside. So now I get to understand what they were going through because I'm in the situation right now.
Many male-dominated industries are seeing rapid changes where women are now in leadership and ownership positions. Mukhari says women should not be treated as special as they are equally capable.
There's nothing special about me being in this industry. As much as someone out there is digging toilet holes, we always say it's hard to do. Recently we have few qualified female panel beaters, and I was so proud of them, because back then when I was starting my journey, I wanted to do panel beating, but I was not allowed because I was a female. But recently I attended an event where there were, I think, 2 or 3 panel beaters who qualified, which I was so proud of, to show that there's no special job for a female, no special job for a male.
Mukhari emphasizes the importance of managing finances effectively as a business owner.
I think the most mistakes we do, as especially black people, it's the moment we start having money, we want to show off out there, which is not right, because at the end of the day, I'll spend that money, but the business will suffer the consequences. So it's people always tell me, Hori, when you don't have a car, why don't you buy a big car? No, it's not about buying the big car. It's about, if I go and buy that big car, will my staff survive for the next 6 months? Will my staff survive for the next year? You understand? So it's more of how you run your finances. It doesn't matter whether you're a woman or a man, but it's up to a person as an individual.
Mukhari's future plans include moving to a bigger workplace and employing more females who will in turn fill up the industry. Sito, SABC News, Johannesburg. Such an encouraging story. Thank you to Princess Mukhari for sharing her story with us. The Youth Employment Service has called on small and medium enterprises to place the youth in their businesses, which will in turn expose these young people to entrepreneurship. Yes, promises to waive registration and its monitoring and evaluation fees. This means that qualifying small businesses interested in joining the YES program will only need to pay the salaries of the young people that they do take on. Earlier this week, I had a chat with Leanne Emery Hunter, the Chief Operating Officer at YES, about it. She shares the progress of the uptake since the campaign was first announced last month.
We've seen a lot of interest and engagement. Obviously, YES can be a slightly longer onboarding process for clients, but we've seen a lot of interest and engagement, and we're hoping that the 100 sign-ups will be taken up in the next couple of weeks. We haven't quite got there yet, but we're seeing a lot of interest and engagement, which is really positive.
Which businesses, I know you did mention the sectors before, but for those that have already put their hands up, in which sectors can we find them? And are there any special requirements that they need? Because as you know, SMEs themselves, they do need help to scale up, and sometimes onboarding people may be a little bit of a challenge and may need extra support. Is there anything that they've communicated to say, we'd love to do this, but we're hoping that you could maybe add this other benefit? Is that something you have come across?
So in terms of the question around the sectors that are supporting, yes, we have support, fortunately, really across all sectors of industry, but we have seen a particular uptake in financial services, in automotive, in the retail sector, healthcare. We are working with a number of businesses to integrate YES into their transformation strategy. So if they join YES and get and create a certain number of quality work opportunities for young people, they get BE incentives, so they get a level or 2 levels up on their scorecard. And similarly, we have many clients who also integrate YES into their environmental, social, and governance strategies. And depending on the size of your business, there are minimum criteria on the scorecard to be able to participate in YES. What we're seeing actually from small businesses as a request to assist them in, looking for young people is to help them in finding some of this talent. Because I think for small businesses, while they may be doing YES from a transformation point of view, often it's really to support young people and to get that phenomenal talent into their organization and test for fit, because it's a 12-month quality work experience where you can test a young person and see, are you the right fit for my organization? And if not, the young person still goes out into the world with such important employability documents like a CV, references, tech access, etc. So we work at the moment with SA Youth Mobi as a partnership under presidency, where we encourage all young job seekers to provide their or load their profiles onto SA Youth Mobi. And we similarly ask our clients to go onto SA Youth Mobi to find talent. We as YES at the moment are also working on ways that we can assist our clients in helping to ensure that they have the best fit for role. Because I think that is often the challenge that we find, is kind of finding the right talent for your specific organization, especially if you are doing YES as a way to really build that talent pipeline in your company.
And how can our viewers, those who run their own businesses, get in touch with you if they would love to participate in the zero fee campaign?
So they can go to the YES website, YES, the number 4, youth.co.za, and they can sign up to YES and use the code YESME when they sign up, and then they will receive the automatic discount. And there's also all of our contact details on the website if you want to speak to somebody directly.
We always encourage our SMEs to engage with us on our Facebook page. Its handle is @SME on Point. @SME on Point on our Facebook page. Let us know, have you been part of this YES campaign? How is it working out for you? Are you able to onboard any young people? Please write to us and let us know what your experience is. And to this now, the National Empowerment Fund says it remains committed to funding and empowering women-owned businesses. Its CEO, Mziwabantu Daimani, says some businesses who are diligent in paying back loans extended by the fund are actually women. Entrepreneurship helps women to play a meaningful role in the economy. Through its NEF Women Empowerment Fund, the NEF says it is accelerating the provision of funding to businesses owned by black women. The funding starts from 250,000 to 75 million rands across a range of sectors for startups, expansions and equity acquisition purposes.
The NEF of the investments that we make, we ensure that a minimum of 40% of those go to businesses that are managed and owned by black women. That's more, that's a minimum that we invest. So on an annual basis, we invest in those kinds of businesses.
In South Africa, women-owned businesses account for 21.9% of total businesses, slightly below the global average of 22.5%. The percentage of women-owned businesses differs widely depending on the sector of operation and the size of the business. In celebration of Women's Month, the National Empowerment Fund has announced its support for Endo Pharma, a South African pharmaceutical company that is majority black-owned. The NEF has approved funding to the value of 7.7 million rand to help Endo Pharma manage its stock procurement and enhance cash flow, ultimately creating new job opportunities in the process.
We've got various businesses that are in that space. There are hotels in the Northern Cape that are owned by women. There are businesses within the petroleum industry that we've supported that are owned by women. And I must say, some of the entities that are best payers to the NEF are women-owned entrepreneurs. I think they've got a way of managing businesses and they're very prudent with finances.
Daimani says the fund is also committed to empowering women working at the NEF with a high female staff complement.
In terms of our staff makeup, the NEF, almost 60% of our staff is females. So we are very serious about women empowerment and transformation, which is why we ensure that we maintain the majority of our staff members as women-owned. It's a deliberate effort on our part, and we will always maintain that.
Diabo Seto, SABC News, Johannesburg.
SME on point for you for this week. Please remember to support small businesses in your communities and let's keep those rents and cents circulating. Your sports news is coming up next with Nastasia. Do stay with us.